Sony's Funimation completes acquisition of Crunchyroll. Although on the plus side, now that we got Kadokawa subbing their own stuff and releasing it, now that we got, was it Anitube? Or no, Analog on YouTube. If we could encourage Japan to just keep skipping these middlemen, that would be perfect. That's how we fight this. Now, following the U.S. Justice Department antitrust review and regulatory approval, Sony Pictures Entertainment confirmed it has completed acquisition of AT&T's Crunchyroll through Funimation Global Group for $1.175 billion. Now, I'm no expert, but I wouldn't have valued Crunchyroll at any higher than a couple $100 million. But hey, this is, if Sony wants to waste their money, fine, bankrupt yourselves faster. I don't care. I'll cheer you on. Now, the Funimation Global Group is a joint venture between Sony and Aniplex, a subsidiary of Sony Music Entertainment. Oh, God. Yeah, these corporations are such clusterfucks, man. But either way, you know censorship is coming. That's what Sony's known for. Now, the acquisition was originally announced in December of current year -1 by Sony Pictures and Crunchyroll. In March, the U.S. Law Department, there's nothing just about it. So, yeah, don't call this shit justice. Call it law. There's a big difference between justice and the law. Reviewed whether the deal would give Sony dominance over anime streaming. I think what really saved them, it's probably a combination of lobbying, aka bribery, and the fact that all the big players like Amazon and Netflix are getting involved in anime too. Like, what do you mean we got a monopoly on streaming? Look at all the shit Amazon and Netflix has. Tony Vinciquerra, chairman and CEO of Sony Pictures Entertainment, commented Crunchyroll adds tremendous value to Sony's existing anime business. Yeah, so the one thing that Crunchyroll really does have that's of value, well, two things. One is their back catalog, which is the back catalog is like a must if you want to maintain customers on a streaming service. You got to have a giant back catalog of stuff for them to watch in addition to new stuff. And the other thing, though, is that they sit on production committees to a lot of anime. Like, people were freaking out finding out that Funimation was on the production committee of like 1 or 2 anime. I think Crunchyroll is in the hundreds. Actually, I bookmarked the fucking thread that goes through every anime that Crunchyroll has been on the production committee of. So take a look. I'm just going to scroll through this here. Look at all this. Yeah, you got quite the list of anime going back a few years. I think 2016 was the earliest one I saw. Yeah, 2015. Look at this. Look at all these animes. Some real good ones on here, too. I'm surprised their influence didn't screw it up. A lot of anime that Crunchyroll has been involved in. I guess it's not in the hundreds yet, but it's a pretty big list. And it's been this way for like 6 years. This is why I wasn't freaking out about it as much. Not even an anime that Crunchyroll was on the production committee of. One that is considered a Crunchyroll original, Inspector. I liked that one. That one was actually good. So I think as long as they just throw money at Japan and let Japan do their own thing, it'll be fine. As long as they're only a small part of a production committee that's dominated by Japanese companies, they'll probably be fine. But we know this is just the start. This is just them getting their foot in the door. Eventually, they're going to, as they get more power and money, they'll start throwing their weight around a little bit more. Hopefully, by the time that happens, we'll be able to see what actually makes money. Like we went over this already, talking about the Kadokawa situation, how especially now that everything is digital, even on the manga front, these publishers can see exactly what sells. And they've been adjusting. So that's why you're seeing a lot more fan service now. Despite all the American reeing about fan service, despite everyone here in America trying to trick Japan into believing that America doesn't like this stuff, if you want to succeed at a global level, you're going to have to remove all the sexy ladies. Japan looks at their own numbers and says, actually, according to our calculations and according to our statistics, even in America, people prefer this stuff. They know they've been getting lied to. Man, even Liam on one of his streams, whatever you may think about him, he does actually have some connections in the anime industry and manga too, as well, obviously. And he let slip a little story on an earlier stream of his about how Shonen Jump, they know that they've been getting lied to by their Western quote-unquote partners. They're fully aware of it. And they're looking at the Western industry right now, and they're just like, them's easy pickings right there. If we just cut out all the middlemen and move in on our own into the Western market, we can literally put all of our competition there out of business, and we'll have another massive market in the West like we have in Japan. I think on both the anime and the manga front, we're seeing moves that Japan is they're not gonna sit around and wait for like Hollywood to buy them out and ruin them. From what it looks like on the inside, Japan is planning to get a lot more aggressive when it comes to expanding directly into Western markets without any middlemen. And a lot of the guys making decisions, like, they're already aware of what we actually want and how they've been getting lied to. One of the stories Liam mentioned in particular was Shonen Jump was, and I believe still is, trying to acquire Western talent for when they push into the West. He didn't drop the name of the company that was doing this, unfortunately, because I'd love to know who they are so I can blacklist them. But they were so Shonen Jump was going through some Western business partner to try to find Western talents to employ. And this business partner was only sending them woke shit and actively suppressing actual good stuff. And thankfully, the people in charge of Shonen Jump aren't stupid. Like, they could look at the garbage that their business partner was giving them. Like, dude, I know how the internet works. I follow Western artists on like Twitter, DeviantArt. This is not the best you have to offer. Can you take this seriously, please? And they're starting to realize they can't trust Western middlemen at all. So they're moving in on their own. The Shonen Jump $2 a month app is just the beginning. And I hope they do this sooner rather than later. What I'm afraid of is all of these legacy failing industries in the West, they still have a lot of money. From back when they used to be good. They have a lot of leftover money and power. And they might throw what they have left into trying to destroy Japan. Like, imagine if Hollywood went into Japan and started literally throwing billions of dollars around at animation studios and manga publishers. They could ruin the industry. But if Japan knows that they're winning, like, why would we let our competition that we're crushing buy us out? We would have to be stupid to allow that to happen. If they actually take this fight seriously and move into the West with the intention of completely taking it over, that would be a godsend. I hope this is true. I hope they have the balls to go forward with this. I would want nothing more than someone who actually values meritocracy to come in and just completely decimate the industry here. We have a lot of talented people in the West, but those in charge of the industry in the West are actively gatekeeping them out. If we have someone come in that actually favors meritocracy and gets rid of the gatekeepers, we can have a Western manga industry to rival that which they have in Japan. All we have to do is get these no-talent hacks that keep gatekeeping their superiors out of the way. That's it. And then when big Shonen Jump and Kadokawa money starts flowing into the West, because right now, the Western industry has crippled itself so bad, like there's no money in the Western comic industry anymore. Maybe 5 people are making a living on it, but that's it. There's like nothing, even at the very top. If Shonen Jump came in and offered big stacks of cash to actually talented Western creators, that would be a game changer. That's what the Western comic industry needs to recover. So I hope it happens. All right. So anyway, back to the article, which I guess I should be reading that. It's only 5 paragraphs, though. So, and some of these paragraphs are sentences. Had to add something, right? Don't want to be accused of stealing content and not adding any commentary. So Crunchyroll adds tremendous value to Sony's existing anime business, including Scumination and our terrific partners at Aniplex. Aniplex is good, but they're owned by Sony as well, so they're not going to stay good for much longer. And Sony Music Entertainment Japan. With the addition of Crunchyroll, we have unprecedented opportunity to serve anime fans like never before and deliver the anime experience across any platform they choose, from theatrical, events, home entertainment, games, streaming, linear TV. Ew. No one watches TV anymore. Everywhere and every way fans want to experience their anime, our goal is to create a unified anime subscription experience as soon as possible. A unified anime subscription experience would not be a bad idea if it wasn't owned by Sony. Like, say, if it was High Dive, if that's where all the anime was, and they explicitly put out uncensored versions of all their fan service shows for those who want to see them, if they didn't bend over to the Puritans, this would not be bad. It would be just like the early days of Netflix, where everything you want to watch is in one location for a low price. That was great. But I do not want things congregating in one place at all anymore, actually. Even if it was something like High Dive, even if Sentai was the one in charge of all the anime, it still would not be a good idea, because even if they're not corrupted now, having that centralized power structure just gives our enemies something to attack and co-opt and subvert. Eventually, they're gonna worm their way into the power structure and start ruining everything. Decentralization is the only way to stay safe. So if all these Japanese companies make their own platforms and bypass middlemen completely, that would be the best ideal solution. And thankfully, it looks like they're trying. We just got to make sure they succeed. If they can avoid doing what Spike Chunsoft did, that would be a good thing. So remember when everyone was celebrating when Spike Chunsoft announced they were going to do their own translations and they're not going to rely on like Nisa anymore, and everyone was happy? And then they censored themselves more than Nisa ever did because they still hired Americans to do it. Yeah, big fucking mistake, Spike Chunsoft. So it serves to extend to anime merchandise, mobile games, and manga. All of the above are laughing stocks, though. Especially their games. Yeah, remember their entry into the game? Was it that Danmachi Memoria Freeze, I think? Right out of the gate, they censored it. And then Princess Connect as well. Just been a dumpster fire. Does anyone even play any of these Crunchyroll mobile games? The Funimation streaming service currently offers over 700 anime series and known for releasing simulcast dubbed content. Ew. By people that hate you. Film distribution, merchandise, live events, and more. The platform recently rebranded Australia and New Zealand streaming service Anime Lab to Funimation, which is why you can't have interspecies reviewers there officially anymore. That's why. So remember when Funimation was virtue signaling and dropped interspecies reviewers? Anime Lab maintained it. They even arranged for another subtitler. Now that Funimation is in charge of everything, well, there goes your interspecies reviewers, Australia and New Zealand. Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.